All right, so who wants to do the recap? Go ahead and roll for it. I'll roll too. Let's see.
13.
9.
Fuck, I got a 6.
I also got a 6.
Oh,
So let's have
reroll.
Let's have a roll off.
13.
I got another 6. All right. So last time you guys were on the island here, you came across a familiar-looking gaunt gentleman by the name of Bait. You proceeded to debate whether or not you were going to leave him or something, and then he kind of just followed you up a tree. On your way up the tree, he slipped, fell about 200 feet, and that was the last you heard of him. You then proceeded to go even further up the tree. Let's see, I think Maeve and Kalt were on a branch. Maeve was investigating like a small nest, which you found a mirror in. The gazer looking over you as it's still following you. And Locke, you and Kaimana proceeded to summit the tree and are in the top of the nest, face to face with a baby rock. You have noticed out of the corner of your eye the bright orange stack of
Fruit?
What do I call them? Elder fruit. Yes. There is like a little pile of them. You and Kaimana are tethered together as well. Just remember that. So with that, I think we're going to start with Locke here. And what would you like to do?
Is the rock awake?
Yeah, yep. It's a baby rock, but still the size of like a grizzly bear.
Okay.
Just kind of like staring at you. Its head kind of like, turning mechanically as bird heads do.
I'm gonna like look back at Kaimana and then just whisper, "What do I do?"
Move very slowly towards the fruit.
Okay, I'm gonna start like sidestepping.
Okay.
Trying
This
to
thing is
be-
eyeballing you because you're big enough that it can't just eat you whole, but you are potentially food.
Right.
So I'm gonna have you roll animal handling as you attempt to like leave the space.
That is not a good stat for me. I got a 7.
7. So as you like start kind of creeping around to the other side of this nest, moving towards the elder fruit, this thing just continues to like stalk you and get like a little closer, and it seems like it's just kind of like almost like toying with you, like it's just kind of like skirting around and staring at you. Kaimana is also going to try to make an animal handling check. Same. Not great at all. So you both wind up kind of just like tiptoeing backwards towards this fruit. Roll a stealth check for me real quick to see if you can avoid making a loud noise.
I got a 12 plus 6, 18.
18. So as you circle around, this is made of like ramshackled pieces of like large branches, pieces of bow, like a lot of crickety old wood. But you manage to keep your footing pretty solid as you kind of move around. And you are now at the pile of elder fruit. They are roughly the size of a watermelon. So they are large. And if you were to carry one, it would mean not being able to use like a two-handed weapon or anything like that.
Right.
But did you want to grab it?
Is my bag big enough that I could put one in there?
Let's see. Roll a percentile just in case.
60.
60? Yeah, we'll say like you kind of like you have to like squish it in there, but yeah, you're able to kind of smash one into the bag there.
Nice.
Kaimana also picks up one of the elder fruit and is carrying that with her.
I'm gonna whisper, "How many do we need?"
I think we just need the one.
Okay.
And then she like kind of starts slinking back towards where you guys climbed up from. Roll animal handling for me one more time.
I got a 13 plus 1, 14.
So as you touch the pile of elder fruit, this baby rock, kind of like leans back on its haunches and like elevates its mouth to the sky and starts screaming. This is probably its primary food source. And it starts just hollering, like just screeching into the sky. And as you are standing there kind of like shocked for a moment, you see in the distance, kind of like coming through the clouds, what appears to be either Mama or Daddy Rock on their way back.
I'm going to just look over at Kaimana and say, we need to run.
Agreed. And she starts booking it over. You guys have about 20 length of rope between the two of you. But as you start to make like a sudden movement, this thing is going to lash out at you. I'm going to need you to go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
So what are me and Maeve doing?
So Maeve and Kalt, you guys are still on a branch, probably about 30 feet below this nest. And if you guys want, you can roll initiative as well to see if you can take actions during this.
Sure.
I got a 22.
I'm assuming you probably hear the scream.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Kaimana rolls a nat 20.
Nice.
Oh shit. I rolled and it got a 16, but it landed on top of another one of my dice. Should I re-roll it or keep it?
I think
I
that
would
counts.
re-roll it. Oh, okay, well, DM says what it goes.
I got a 16 plus 3.
Like a billion. Plus a billion. No, it's only plus 1. So 17.
17.
Okay. I got 19.
Okay, so we have K.
Some pretty
Locke,
dexterous people over here.
Maeve, Kalt, what was yours?
17.
1738.
I'm looking what's up below.
Seen your pretty ass soon as you walk in.
We don't have the rights to this song. You can't sing it.
Up first is Kay, and she just books it over towards the other side. She's kind of, you two are kind of hampered by the fact that you're tethered together. She can't take her full movement. But Locke, you were up after that. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna just keep running after her.
Okay. As the two of you keep running to the outskirts of this nest, this baby rock, baby Locke is going to take an attack of opportunity. So he lashes out, and you see him take a big like chunk out of Kaimana's shoulder as he clamps down on. She takes
Attack me, not her.
Yeah, she takes 7 points of piercing damage as it kind of like just jabs into her. She
and this bird has the sentinel feet. So
can't move.
Oops.
No, she's bright blue, so she is like an aquamarine color and very much sticks out. You kind of look like a lizard. No offense. Okay, so it is now Maeve, your turn.
All right, so can I see what's going? I assume I would have heard the cry, but can I see what's going on from the branch I was on?
You hear the cry, but you can't see anything happening above you.
Okay, then I guess I'm gonna head back from the branch more towards the trunk, and I'm gonna call up. What's going on?
You get no response.
Awesome.
No,
Nothing.
Locke,
We need to get out of here.
Okay. Kaimana just you hear her yell, "Run!" as you see over the side of the nest now. They start to like kind of peer over.
Vault over.
But first, Kalt, it is your turn.
All right. So I heard run. My buddy Boyd, I could still be connected. So I'm going to lend. I'm going to see through my gazer's big ass eye, and I'm going to float him up. Listed super hot. No, it's he can fly 30 feet. So I'm going to fly him up 30 feet so he can get a idea of what's going on. What does my gazer boy see? / what do I see through his eyes?
Yeah, you looking through the eye of your gazer, you see that this like it looks like a baby chick almost, but has like gray feathers and kind of like a cold look in its eye, like all birds do. And then it is currently snapping at Kaimana, and you've just
Hashtag
seen that
no
she
nice
is,
birds.
Yeah, there are no nice birds. No, there are. And then you see Kaimana get bit in the shoulder, and her she drops a bright orange fruit that you would assume is the elder fruit.
Does the gazer see the big boy?
Yes. Yep. You see Locke. They are tied together. and he's kind of.
I'm the big boy?
I was gonna say, are you talking about Locke or the birds?
I'm talking about the birds.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the birds off in the distance. Gotcha.
Yes.
He was the only person of that group we hadn't addressed yet.
Fucking hell, man.
All right,
We're not.
sorry.
Yes, I'm. Where is my best friend? So I more or less know everything that I've heard in the last 20 or so seconds.
Yeah.
Maeve,
Yeah,
are you capable of any more spells?
maybe like a couple.
What about the levitation you performed earlier?
I can only do that on one person. I can't do what I was doing before.
Ooh boy, a large rock is on its way. I fear our friends are in a bit of danger, so we should get out of here. There's no saving them now. I look wistfully off into the distance as I say this, and a single tear rolls down my face.
Somebody has littered.
Jesus
So it's the rock's turn, and it is going to take another snap at Kaimana. And it misses. So you see this baby rock kind of like keep snapping out, and this time it grabs the elder fruit instead of hitting Kaimana, and you just see it kind of like gulp down in one go of it. It is now Kaimana's turn, and she pushes over to the edge of the nest, and she's gonna wait for you, kind of like hold her action, so you can both kind of jump at the same time. But it is your turn, Locke.
I'm gonna go right up next to her and get ready to vault.
Okay, and then in a very like, what was it? Was it the good guys? Is that the
Oh yeah,
Feral?
aim for the bushes.
Aim for the bushes. Yeah, you two jump off.
Shout
the
out to
side.
Albany.
Wait, what?
That was filmed in Albany. That part of it.
Really? I did not know.
Yeah,
That.
they jumped off the Palace Theater.
Ah. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool. So yeah, you and Kaimana both jump at the exact same time. I'm gonna have you both roll athletics checks.
Fuck. I got a 7.
7.
Again?
Yeah, I'm rolling like shit, man.
She rolled really
what
well,
else is
but so yeah, you jump off the side, and it's about a 30-foot drop to that branch down below. So let's see, you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as you kind of like are slap into the side of the branch, and then immediately like slide off of it. She manages to catch herself on that branch.
Can I try to like dig my kukri into it or something?
Yeah, roll a strength saving throw.
I got an 18.
She also rolled a strength saving throw, and did pretty well as well. So yeah, you managed to like dig the kukri in, and she kind of like grabs the rope and wraps it around her forearm and kind of like locks in tight. And you managed to keep your footing on the branch. You are all on the same branch now, and you can see this baby rock. It actually, we'll go back to the initiative order. It is Maeve, your turn.
How does Kaimana look like?
She doesn't look like she's doing too bad, but she does have a pretty big gouge out of her shoulder.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the conch shell that was given to me out.
Okay.
It's pronounced conch.
Conch, whatever. I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna blow in it.
Okay. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw for
Oh
me.
Jesus fuck. That's a 7.
7. Okay. Could you please list 3 distinct locations in Maeve's life?
In my
one
life.
being the chieftain's hut there, so 2.
Okay, so Chieftain's Hut, the church at Stoneholm,
Oh god.
and
Oh god.
the house where my parents' house that burned down.
Okay. So you remember the chief's words. He said to you, "Okay, if you get into a tight situation, you blow into this conch with all your might and think about this hut. And as you do that, you start thinking about that hut. Your mind drifts just ever so slightly, and you picture the old man at the church, and then the embers surrounding your house as you fled from it, and in a moment, you blink out of existence. So everyone else who is standing there, you see as the small child blows into the conch and just gone.
Cool, everyone.
Fuck.
Yep. And we will come back to that in just a moment. But for the time being, Kalt, it is your turn.
All right, I'm not going to use my action to see through my little buddy boy, but I'm going to have him come closer to me. Or actually, I guess I can just like snap my fingers and he comes back. Okay. Do I know what just happened to Maeve? Like, I just saw her blow on something like a shell and then just disappear.
Roll an Arcana check for me.
I'm pretty good at those. It's a natural 19 plus 10, so 29.
I mean, you can infer that whatever this conch was is some sort of like a teleportation device, like it had been imbued with the magic to send somebody somewhere in the world that was strong and like powerful to them, or like a potent location for them. But yeah, you don't know where exactly she went.
Oh, beans. Does it seem like so we're gonna have to climb down. There is no easy way of doing that, I assume. Like no elevator made out of like vines, like Tarzan or something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be athletics all the way down.
It's not like a Skyrim thing where the end is the beginning.
No, fortunately not.
I guess seeing our predicament. So where is the baby rock in accordance with where we are?
So it is like leaning over the side of the nest, 30 feet above you, and just like staring down at you. And it's still letting out like these gross like screeches as it cries for its fruit.
All right. I hate the fact that it's screaming at me, so I am going to cast Fireball. And that is going to be my last 3rd level spell of the day. But yeah, I'm going to cast Fireball on that dumb fucking stupid bird.
Okay, what is the DC for the save there?
It's going to be a 15 there. It's going to be a dex.
Hey, it makes it. It rolled a 14. So it
it fails it then.
Well, it rolled a 14 plus its modifier.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry. So it manages to take half damage, but what is half?
8d6. It's pretty good. There's a lot of 5s in that. 30 points of damage, so halved would be 15.
Okay. So you...
Well, no,
Oh, go ahead.
32, so 16 okay. Points of damage.
Yeah, so you let out the fireball, and everybody else sees the little bead of energy just kind of like beam up to the nest and then explode in just a torrent of fire. And the bird gets blown backwards. You can't see it from your perspective after that. It kind of like gets blasted back into the nest. And the nest immediately, being made of like dry wood and branches, just explodes into like an inferno. And now at the top of this tree, there's just a raging inferno.
Little bird dead, big bird dead. Now for bigger bird.
We're gonna drop initiative because that bird is essentially out of combat. But you guys will have to quickly make your way down this tree. So we are going to go ahead with some athletics checks, unless you guys want to devise a specific plan for getting down this.
So this is a long shot, but Pat, does your character have feather fall?
You know, I don't think he does.
Because mine doesn't, and I am... the opposite.
You know,
of athletic.
I really knew that it was going to come in handy at one point and that I should probably take it, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's me too. I was like, what's the chance of us falling to our deaths? I prepared it on every character.
Right, we were going to be on a boat the entire time. I was like, there's no way, I'll just fall in the water.
So legitimately, I have prepared it for every other spellcasted character I've ever had, and I've never used it.
And the one time you need it.
Never.
I like me some environmental traps, guys.
Congrats, Josh. Congrats. Yeah, I don't have anything that's gonna help us.
Wait, does Kaimana seem like nonplussed with me setting fire to this huge tree, or is she cool with it? Is she too busy, like, losing blood to care?
Roll insight.
Not very good at that.
Something tells me it's not going to be very hard to tell what she's feeling.
7 + 1, so 8.
You are too distracted by your kind of arson fetish to really get a good feel for her feelings at the moment, but she does not seem to be happy.
That was sick as shit, right, Kamana?
She immediately starts climbing down the tree. Just is gone. She's untied the rope that's tethered her to Locke.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at Kalt, give him a nice little sigh, shake my head, and then start climbing down.
What? I saved everybody.
Tell that to me when we hit the ground and live through it.
We're all gonna die falling down, so it's fine. All right, what kind of check are we making first?
These are going to be some athletics checks. So if everybody could roll, we're going to do.
Can I convince you of acrobatics?
Yeah, you know what? You could. If you want to try to like jump to the next branch instead of climbing down on the bark, you can try to roll acrobatics to kind of like jump and tumble and keep your footing, that kind of thing.
If I do acrobatics, am I more likely to die?
I don't know.
Yes.
Are you?
Shit. All right. Well,
I'm gonna be using my kukri as like trying to dig in.
Okay. And you do still have like 20 feet of rope tied around you, so if you want to use that in any way,
we'll see.
Do I have anything that can help me with this? I don't think. Wait, are these skill checks?
Yes.
I am going to be perpetually guiding myself.
Okay. And we're going to ignore.
Just gonna get that out there.
Yeah, we're going to ignore the exhaustion that everybody still technically has.
Yeah.
And we're just going to say it's a straight roll.
All right. Let's do this. So acrobatics. Okay. 13 plus 4 plus 18 for my first acrobatics.
18. Okay. So yeah, you managed to kind of like you ever watch parkour people jump off of tall stuff where they kind of like drop and hit their palms into the ground. You kind of managed to do that and like keep your knees intact.
Parkour, ha-cha.
Pat, what did you roll?
I got a 13 plus 3 for athletics, so 16.
Okay, yeah, you managed to scale down the side of the tree. We're going to do these for every 50 feet, so we're going to make 4 checks in total.
So that was 1.
How close are the mama and daddy rocks?
Roll perception at disadvantage because there's now a thick cloud of smoke billowing off the top of this tree.
I saved us. Shut up, Pat.
Yeah, well, I just rolled a 19 and an 8, so fuck you.
I saved us.
I got a 12 total.
Yeah, it's very distracting, the smoke. It is hard to make out exactly where they are. Plus, it's getting towards sunset, so it's getting a little darker as well.
All right, should we make the next roll?
Yep, make your next set of rolls.
All right.
Sick.
14? 12 plus 1 plus 1?
Yeah, so you managed to jump down to the next branch, and your feet slip just a little bit, but you managed to catch yourself.
Hardcore, parkour.
And
I got a 21 for athletics.
21, very nice. So yeah, you managed to scale down to the next kind of like layer there, no problem. However, you look over and you see Kaimana has been climbing down just alongside you, and she slips and tumbles.
Can I make a reaction to try to grab her, or is she too far away?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a reaction. We'll say
just like a dexterity saving throw? Or?
Well, it wouldn't be a saving throw. We'll say an athletics
Okay.
check to try to like snatch her.
I got a 12.
12. Yeah, you are unfortunately unable to grab her, even though she is like a younger kind of like lean Triton. She is pretty built. She's very strong and weighs a lot, so she slips through your fingertips.
I do still have my rope dangling. If she can somehow catch that.
Okay. She falls the 50 feet to kind of like the next branches.
Okay.
And makes a strength saving throw at that point. I already rolled it and she did pretty well. So she's going to take some not unsubstantial damage, but yeah, she's okay. 14 points of bludgeoning.
Oofta doofta.
So yeah, she drops and hits that branch, and you just hear like a oh god, oh that's not good. And you hear like a crack, but you are all on that same plane now.
How far away is she? Are we on the same plane?
Yeah, yep. So you guys kind of like finish climbing down as she's kind of like getting back, putting herself back together a little bit.
I'll burn.
I'm gonna tether. Oh, okay.
I was gonna burn a first level spell to give her a healing word.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll the health on that.
It's 4 plus my Wiz mod, which is +1, so she gets 5 hit points back. Cool.
So you.
I'm gonna offer to tether again as well.
Yeah, she goes, yeah, maybe that's a good idea, and ties it back around her waist. Let's go ahead and roll the third check.
All right.
I got another 21.
Nice.
Okay, thank God. I got an 18.
Nice. So you all do pretty well in this round. You managed to scale down the other side. You're about 50 feet from the ground now. And you can roll your final check.
Come on.
You know, if we fall 50 feet, that's not too bad.
That is survivable, maybe.
Yep. I got a 13.
I got a 5! 3 plus 1 plus 1!
So yeah, you're like, you know what? I got this. And you kind of like hardcore parkour your way off this last 50 feet. But your ankle does not appreciate it. And you take 5d6 damage. Let's see, that is 17 points of bludgeoning damage as you kind of just like smack into the ground.
I want to say that I land it and I hold my pose, but you can definitely see blood coming down my ankle.
Yeah, so you managed to save face.
I have 5 hit points.
Should have used the healing word on yourself there, bud.
I will. Do I have more spells?
Yeah, so I got a 13.
A 13 for your last strength check? Okay. Yeah, you and Keimana both managed to get down without a problem. It was a pretty low DC, so barring a 5.
So I have several questions, Josh. 1, can I use a healing word on myself?
Yeah, go ahead.
And 2, do I see the corpse of our friend?
Roll a perception check for me.
Or what's left intact.
I'm gonna bless myself or guidance myself.
Or I guess this would be investigation rather than perception.
Oh, I'm better at investigation. That's +7, so that is 22.
22. So you all managed to make it to the bottom of this tree, and you kind of like heal yourself real quick, and then you're looking around, and you see two things. The first thing you see is what appears to be an area where somebody has impacted. You see kind of like not like a crater, but a like a clear like disturbance in the ground where somebody had clearly hit pretty hard. But there's no body there. There's just that like person-shaped impact area. The second thing that you see is a little pile of crimson ash and feather. That is just kind of like
I cast Spare the Dying
on the crimson ash and feather.
Yeah. Does it help?
It doesn't do anything. There's
that's the red bird that you killed. Oh God.
Yeah. So you.
It's a dark day for birds everywhere. Let's move on.
It really has been.
It's a great day for Bird Bay.
Locke, could you roll investigation as well?
Yes, I can.
Oh, I'll collect some of the red feathers, BT dubs.
I got a 4.
4. Okay, yeah. So you don't see any of this. You're too.
I'm just trying to get the fuck out of here.
You're too distracted
And also,
by the fire.
To paint the scene, as I'm looking for Bates' body, I have like a whetstone out, and I'm like sharpening a small knife, like skull time. But when I see that he's gone, I'm a little perplexed, and then when I see the small patch of feathers, I will kind of like sigh and then collect up the burnt feathers and shit.
So as you're going to do that, though, you see Kaimana has also noticed the pile of feathers, and she kind of like intervenes and she goes, "Don't you touch it!" And then she like leans over, and you look as she kind of like cups her hands around the pile of like the feathers. But you can see there are also like embers, and she like leans down and like blows into them like she's stoking a fire. And
I can do that. I'm gonna prep a firebolt.
as you start to prep the firebolt, you see just like the tiniest little like bird just kind of like poke out of the pile of ash, and she kind of like scoops it up in her hand and is now like. Has it kind of close to her chest, and she is giving you just the most evil eye at the moment. You are all safely...
I stand by the fact I did nothing wrong.
She kind of like looks to Locke, and she goes, "What do you want to do?"
I want to get back to the cottage thing or whatever.
Okay.
We need to find Maeve.
Okay. Yes, I did notice the girl. I don't know where she went, but yes, we should find her.
But we know she blew into the conch, right? Like, we saw that
Yeah,
happen.
you saw it all happen. Yep.
I kind of share whatever I was able to perceive about what happened.
So I'm going to ask Kaimana if she knows, like, who would have given her the conch.
Well, I saw the chief give her the conch and tell her to think about the hut, so maybe she's back with the chief.
All right, it's worth a shot.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trouble in Paradise, Episode 4, and thank you for listening. This is Colin, the headmaster of Dicey Waters and the composer of all the music for Dice Populi, and I'm here just making a quick announcement. A couple weeks ago, we mentioned that listeners had unlocked the soundtrack for Dice Populi coming soon, and I'm here to tell you that soon is now. Dicey Waters Volume 1 is now available for download. To find it, just head to dicepopuli.com. Near the top of the page, you will see the album, as well as a link to our Bandcamp, where you can get it all for free. It is 16 tracks with 30 minutes of remastered selections from chapters 0 through 4 of Dice Populi, and it doesn't cost you a penny. Though if you do think it's worth a bit of money, you could, toss a coin to your witcher, so to speak. You pay a little bit for it if you would like. We're also going to have it on streaming services like Apple Music and Spotify soon. We're just kind of waiting for that stuff to load on the back end. We'll announce that on social media when it happens. But for now, just head to dicepopuli.com where you can find the album. You can find links to get new listeners on board really fast. You can also find the instructions for how to unlock the next soundtrack or unlock free PDFs to play with. There's a ton of stuff that we're trying to use to engage with you, our community, and this album is the first fruit born by that relationship. It is something we are very happy with, proud of, and excited to share with you. So take a listen, and we really hope you enjoy that, and we really hope you enjoy the rest of this episode.
And with that, we are going to cut over real quick. Maeve, how you doing?
Hi. Sipping my whiskey here. It's a good time.
I'd like to think that Maeve just like gave up and went to a tavern. So
that was the fourth place she was thinking of?
The fourth place, yep. So yeah, you've had a rough couple of moments just now as you kind of what is the word? Apparate or disapparate? I don't know. Out of existence momentarily, and you find yourself in the church.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, no.
Where you had probably the most visceral moment of your life.
Yeah.
Having taken the lives of those 70 odd people.
God damn it.
I'm going to need you to roll wild magic with me.
Oh, fuck yeah. Give me a sec. 55.
55.
Your hair falls out, but grows back within 24 hours.
So, oh my god, as this just an
It's like some Terminator shit.
Yeah, visceral moment happens where you apparate out of existence and then pop back in. The stress and everything, your magic just like wells up, and you just kind of put your hands on your head and just feel as the hair just falls from your skull all around you. And as you kind of like collapse into the ground in the center of this church, you see the Father Reinhold off in the distance, and he's kind of over by the door of the church, kind of like backed up into it as you've just kind of appeared like a ghost from the past.
Wait, is this on Stoneholm?
Yep.
It's Master Seawin.
Oh, Master Seawin. Who's Reinhold? Why do I have that name in my head? Judge Reinhold. You see Judge Reinhold.
Judge Reinhold. I was gonna say Reinhardt is from a video game.
Yeah. And he kind of like he takes like a deep gasp and like kind of like falls backwards into the door. And you kind of like close your eyes and you think like no, this can't be happening. And when you open them again, you are no longer in the church. You are in what appears to be like I don't know how else to describe it, but like a field almost. A small patch of land. It seems a little bit overgrown with like weeds, and some bushes seem untamed. And in the distance, just like maybe 50-60 feet away, you see the charred bones of your family home as you have now apparated again into the place where you grew up.
Well, I guess Maeve kind of falls to her knees, like she didn't expect to be back here.
Okay, roll wild magic again for me.
Oh, god damn it. 77. Okay, what is this? This is you cast polymorph on yourself. If you fail the saving throw, you turn into a sheep for the spell's duration.
Oh god.
Yikes.
I should not have incorporated wild magic into this.
It's better than Fireball incorporated on yourself.
Hey, I'm a tiefling though, so I have the resistance.
I guess that's true.
It's also better than killing 70 villagers.
You know, way to rub the salt in the wound.
Boo-hoo, Pat.
God damn.
Pat. You're bringing up the past.
Polymorph is a wisdom save, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I can double check that.
I'm gonna say with advantage because.
Just because.
That's just
The scene will be a lot less impactful if you're a sheep.
Yeah, true.
a bald
awesome.
sheep.
It is a wisdom save, so 7 2. All right, so it's a 7 plus 1. That's an 8. So I fail my spell save DC.
Okay. So you turn into a sheep momentarily, as
For the next hour.
Yeah.
but as you are still so overwhelmed with what's happening and the fact that your body just seems to be like blinking in and out of existence, and moments later you blink again, and you find yourself in the chief's hut, back on the island as a sheep. So everybody is just sitting around. You see they're playing with the cat. Like, "Ooh, look, I taught it to jump," and like he dangles like a feather on a string, and the cat kind of like jumps up and bats at it, as just a sheep appears in the middle of the hut. They all seem very confused. It is we're gonna cut over for a moment while I think of how to resolve that.
So a fun thing to remember with polymorph, Maeve now has the mental statistics of a sheep.
Yeah.
So
I thought I kept my mental facilities.
no, that's only for wild shape.
Yeah, for druids.
That sucks.
God damn.
So yeah, we're gonna cut back to Kalt, Locke, and Kaimana. You are now setting off back into the jungle on your way back to the village. How would you like to kind of prep for this?
I will guide myself. I'll just have a unless I say otherwise or I guide somebody else, I am going to have just guidance on myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Kaimana if she has any like shortcuts we could try.
Okay. She, let me roll survival for her. Okay. Yeah, she's pretty familiar with the jungle, so she kind of manages to guide you back through the swamp. As you are proceeding through this swamp, you notice that all of the wildlife that is kind of surrounding you in this swamp seems to be like, I don't know, more drawn to you as you move through it. Like all of the bugs and stuff that were just kind of in the air around you before are now like swarming towards you. All of like the small lizards and the birds and everything seem to be just like getting closer as you proceed through the swamp. And Keimana looks back to you and she goes, "They really love that elder fruit, so keep it close. Everything in this island wants that." As you proceed through the jungle, I'm going to have everybody roll survival checks for me.
Survival with guidance.
Survival.
Oh, cool. I got pretty high.
I got a 12.
Natural 18 plus 1 plus 4, so 23.
Okay. Sorry, what was yours again, Pat?
I got a 12.
12. Okay. So yeah, as you all proceed through the jungle, you manage to like kind of navigate your way behind Keimana, no problem. But you get back to that swamp patch that you were at before, and you notice that the alligators that were in the swamp have kind of like disappeared from view. Roll perception for me.
Everybody or just Pat?
Everybody.
I got an 11.
3 plus 3 plus 4, whopping 10.
Okay. So as you all sort of like wade back into the swamp to push across, you are kind of like keeping an eye out. You know that there were alligators here before, but you don't hear or see anything until all of a sudden there's just a crack as you hear a crunch from behind you, Kalt, and you see an alligator has chomped down onto your best friend.
Which best friend?
Your best friend's arm, your best dragonborn friend. And Pat, you take...
Do I not even get, like...
Nope, it gets a surprise.
My AC or anything?
It gets a surprise round on you. But no, I rolled for the attack on it.
Yeah, what'd you get?
I rolled a 14 plus 4, 18.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you had breastplate, which gave you an AC of, what, 16?
Yeah, 16.
Yeah, yep.
But I also have the shield spell, so I could have totally used it.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you can use the shield spell if you want.
No, I don't want to use it right now.
Okay.
I'm just trying to fuck with you.
That's okay.
The most pointless argument of all time.
I choose death, please.
I just don't like it when people assume that their attacks hit, but I didn't realize he just did the math on my AC.
Sorry, I know what I gave you. You take 12 points of piercing damage as this gator slaps its jaws around your arm. And I'm going to need you to roll a strength saving throw for me, and then everybody's going to roll
does it matter? Because
initiative.
I'm dead.
So Pat, do you wish that you took the shield spell now?
I do now, yeah. I didn't know he could do 12 damage.
Yeah, no, I rolled max damage on it, so...
I meant negative. I didn't think he was going to do that. Whatever, fuck off.
Why would
negative
you
one.
do it?
Because I didn't think he was going to do that much damage to me. I thought it would
It's
need
an
it
alligator,
further on.
not a lizard.
Oh my god, he just said he did max damage, so statistically, I would be alive right now.
So, Pat, are you just unconscious, or are you actually, like, dead?
I'm at -1.
Okay.
Yeah, so you Colt, you turn around and see your dragon boy get chomped.
Oh shit!
And dragged under the water by this alligator.
And
Keimana turns around and goes, "Oh no!" And everybody roll, or well, you two, I guess, roll initiative for the moment.
Bang.
Or actually, Pat, I will need you to roll initiative as well.
Does guidance count towards initiative?
Wouldn't I just naturally go at the end?
For when you're gonna roll, like your saving throw.
Guidance is for checks, right?
Skill for skill checks, but
okay.
initiative
Yeah.
is a skill check technically.
I got a 6, so
Okay.
not looking great anyway.
Without guidance, I have a 9.
Okay. And this hey, the alligator goes last. So Keimana goes first, and immediately she lets out a healing word, and is going to heal Locke for 5 points of health.
All right.
As she continues to back through the swamp, and kind of like keep her distance a little bit, and she kind of pulls her kukri and is staring down in the water to make sure that no other alligator approach. It is now Kalt, your turn.
Oh shit. How close am I to the alligator?
Probably about.
Does it still have a grip on a Lucky Boy?
It does, yeah.
I guess I'm going to do Ray of Sickness at 2nd level. So that is a spell attack, natural 19. So I'm definitely gonna hit. So 3d8, and then you need to save where you're poisoned until the end of your next turn, or the alligator is.
Okay.
The save would probably be 15.
Is that a Constitution?
Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does fail. Go ahead and roll your 3d8.
Or 12 points of damage. I guess it's poison damage, and it's poison until its next turn, or on the end of my next turn. So it has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I will raise my my little buddy boy up in the air, and I'm gonna telepathically communicate to it to kind of keep an eye out for other alligators.
Okay.
Are we like in the water right now?
Yeah, yep. So you are all in like encumbered terrain. Like you're going to be moving at half movement because you're in the water.
Okay.
Up next, it is Locke. Your turn.
Well, I'm unconscious still, aren't I?
Well, you're conscious now.
Yeah, she gave you a
okay.
healing word, so you got.
Right, I thought that just made me stabilized, not...
No, you picked back up.
Nah, that's spare the dying.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, cool.
So this thing is still locked onto your arm, though. So,
Right.
if you'd like to break that, you can roll a strength saving throw. Otherwise, you can like attack it while it's chomped up.
Is there... How big of an opening is there? Like, is his jaw pretty much closed, or can I slide something in there to use as a pry?
You could try to pry
Like
something
my
in there
kukri.
if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
You also notice that this crocodile looks like he's poisoned. He doesn't look like he's doing too hot.
So I'm gonna shove my kukri in there, not taking any care to avoid stabbing him entirely, and then like try to break it open.
Okay, I'll have you roll an attack.
Okay. +7. I got a 16 plus 7, so 23.
That'll hit. Roll damage.
Yep. D6. 4 plus 4, 8 damage.
8 damage. So you go to like pry open the jaw of this this crocodile with the kukri, and you jab it in there, and you kind of drag down. And instead of prying the jaw open, you actually just cut the bottom part of the jaw off as this thing slumps into the swamp. They only have 19 health, so it dies pretty quickly. And you are now out of initiative with this crocodile, but you do notice, or actually the gazer notices, some movement in the swamp around you guys, maybe like 50, 60 feet off, as you continue to push through the swamp.
We should hurry.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to have you roll athletics checks if you want to get through the swamp hurriedly, or you can move at your normal pace with kind of your guard up.
Oh, what do we want to do?
I would like to not get surprise attacked ever again, so...
So you want to do low and slow?
Yeah, I would lean low and slow.
All right.
So you guys kind of like hunker down and kind of move like slowly and purposely through the swamp, keeping an eye out for any of these more gators. And I'm going to have everybody, actually we're going to keep the initiative order. You see 2 more gators approaching through the swamp. They're at a distance of about, probably about 50 to 60 feet right now.
All right. When it comes to my turn, they're getting firebolt to the face.
Okay.
I would like to magic missile them if he doesn't kill them.
Yeah, so let's see here. Kay goes first. She looks over to you, Kalt, Locke, and she goes, "You okay?"
A bit better, but
She walks over and she is gonna lay on hands and give you 10 points of health back.
Oh, hell yeah.
It is now Kalt, your turn.
We're in water, so I don't have to worry about fire spreading too much. I will firebolt the nearest one, or at least attempt to.
Go ahead and roll the hit.
Natural 15 plus 7, so 23.
23, that'll hit.
8, so 13 points of damage to the face.
Okay, so you shoot the one on your left right in the snout, and it looks like it's pretty badly damaged. Next up, it is Locke, your turn.
I'm gonna magic missile to try to finish the job.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage.
What's that again? 3d4 or something like that?
It depends on what the level you're casting it at is.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
okay,
I think
okay.
on the first level it's 3d4, and it's a d4 plus 1 per bolt. So it's 3 darts, each one is a d4 plus 1.
Okay.
I have that spell as well.
So that's a 5 damage bolt, then a 3 damage bolt, and then a 2 damage bolt.
Okay, so yeah, you blast this thing out of the water, and it just kind of like rolls over onto its belly. Is floating dead in the water. There is another one that quickly swims up and approaches you guys, and it is going to attack Kaimana. And it misses. These things are a CR half. They don't have the best attacks. So it is now top of the order, Kaimana's turn. She reaches out with her kukri and is going to like try to stab this thing in the snout. She misses as the blade just kind of like skips off the rough hide of the crocodile. It is now Kalt, your turn.
All right, yeah, I'm going to firebolt that one in the face if I can.
Okay. Yep.
Natural 20.
Okay. Whoop, whoop. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And a 1. 3. So
Come on,
3
dude.
doubled into 6 damage.
That was the least fucking hype magic
Fuck
or
me.
whatever. Nat 20.
So
Fuck me running. God dang.
yeah, you shoot this thing with a firebolt, and it kind of like the bolt kind of like skips off the water before impacting one of its eyes, and it is going to have disadvantage on its attacks. It is Locke, your turn.
I'm just gonna keep moving forward. I don't have any other ranged attacks. Although I guess I can use the same spell.
Well, this thing is actually within range now. It has gotten close enough to attack Kaimana.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'll take a whack at it with my kukri.
Okay, go ahead and roll the hit.
Oh god. Oh fuck. That is a 10.
10 does not hit. So you also can't get through like the thick, scaly hide of this crocodile.
Pat, you can attack twice though, right?
I can, I think, right?
Yeah, because you're a level 5 fighter.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna attack again. Alright, that time I got a 16.
That'll hit.
Thank Christ. That's max damage, 10 damage.
You kind of like lunge out and jab your kukri into the snout of this beast, and it does not look like it's doing too great, but it is still alive. It's now the beast's turn, and it is going to lash out at the bag that you're holding. It's going to kind of clamp out towards the elder fruit. I'm going to have you roll a dexterity saving throw to try to like move the bag out of the way as this thing makes its attack.
A dex saving throw? Don't fail me now. It failed me now. I got a 9.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, it also rolled a 9.
Ooh.
So, well, I think technically by the rules that hits because you just have to match. You know what? No, we're going to do it this way. Roll one more time. It's a roll off.
That's a crit fail there, boys.
Okay. So you see this beast like wiggling through the water, and it
Can we just insert a gif of Shaq doing his little
his
wiggle dance real quick right there? Yeah.
Kind of like slithering through the water, and it like reaches out with its gargantuan teeth and just cracks down on the bag that you currently have and rips it from your side, and you see as the watermelon sized fruit that is inside of it gets crushed by its jaws as it bites through and drags the bag under the water.
So wait, I have a question. It attacked Locke?
Yeah, to attack the bag on Locke.
Okay.
It was going for the elder fruit, which is where like all of the plants and animals are drawn to at the moment. Not plants.
Okay. So we have to go all the way. No, we can't go back because I set the tree on fire.
So it is now top of the order, Kaimana's turn. She kind of lunges out with her kukri again and is going to try to stab this thing. And she hits for max damage. 6 plus 3, so it takes 9 points of piercing damage, and the crocodile like kind of falls dead, and is now floating in the water. But you see the bag. Water has now gotten into the bag, and the fruit just kind of like appears to be like mush inside the bag. But you can snatch that up if you'd like.
Kaimana, is it of any use at this point?
I don't know. But, I mean, it's better to take whatever's left, I guess.
I guess we take the stuff.
Okay. You guys push through the swamp again. There are no more alligators in this swamp, so you manage to cross through the other side without any further incident. And as you continue to push through the woods, we are going to cut back over to the chief's hut.
Meh.
Maeve, you are
Maeve.
a sheep, kind of just chilling in the middle of this hut. And
how did they react like to the sheep just popping up?
Yeah, so you kind of blink into existence, and everybody just goes kind of like in a confused moment. They're all kind of like distracted by playing with the cat, and there's some like drinking going on, and people are eating. And then the chief turns around and he goes, "Wait, did somebody bring a sheep in here? Wait, do we have sheep on this island?" And he seems very confused. You look over in the corner and you see that Nana, the older turtle, or turtle, she is kind of like chomping down on what appears to be like some fish that they had roasted over the fire. And is kind of like just in a jovial moment, looks over, and she kind of gives you an inquisitive look too. She's been on this island for God knows how long, and she's never seen a sheep here before.
Right.
What would you like to do?
Well, considering that my mental facilities are replaced with a sheep, I imagine I'd be kind of freaking out and running around a little bit.
Yeah,
in like
so
an enclosed space with a fire? Hell yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of freak out a little bit, and you start like just kind of like running into stuff and like looking for an exit. And the chief just goes, "Wait, oh, hey, somebody catch the sheep!" And everybody starts playing like that game where, like, you know how they would try to catch a greased pig, but with a sheep. And everybody's like jumping and trying to tackle the sheep. As you continue to kind of bop around. It's a very Benny Hill moment. So you're running around. Go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh god, I have to look up the sheep stats real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
She's Maeve the sheep.
I rolled a 7.
Okay, they have a 0 modifier.
Oh, wonderful.
They are a challenge rating 0.
Okay, classic.
Yep, and I don't even give hit point statistics for a sheep. Let me just double check polymorph real quick here.
Yeah, how long is the duration of the spell?
It's gonna last an hour for my wild magic, but if I get dropped to 0 hit points, then if it doesn't like exceed my like Maeve's hit points, then I'm not like knocked out or whatever.
Yeah, so that is why I was checking that, because they managed to tackle the sheep, and as you see Tommy, the snapping turtle that you had encountered before, he jumps out and manages to tackle you, and you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as he kind of drops you to the ground, and you poof back into Maeve, and you are now in the center of the hut. You come out of the polymorph, and where you had lost all your hair before, you now have curly white, like woolen hair for the time being. So you kind of got like a little white afro going on. But you were back in the middle of the hut.
Hi.
Okay, so that was weird. Were you just a sheep?
Yeah. I blew the conch shell, and then I disappeared. I stopped at a couple places, and then it's like I was a sheep, but I couldn't really do much because I was a sheep.
Okay.
And now I'm here.
Okay, so you blew into the conch, and then now you wind up. Okay, that's good. So it worked. Hey, it worked. we always kind of speculated whether or not it was going to work, but I'm glad it did. So he kind of like walks you over, and he's like, "What happened to your hair?" Wait, that might be a dumb question. Is that just like a side effect of being a sheep?
You know, I really have no idea.
So they look confused. You're confused, but you are safe back in this hut. And we're going to cut over real quick again to the rest of the group. As you proceed through the jungle, you get through to the other side, and you're kind of approaching the village, and you see kind of slumped over, leaning against one of the trees, the form of your spindly-haired, gaunt friend.
Can someone please give me something for my head?
I cast Firebolt.
Common Geeking Program.
That camp.